What's up guys, it's the bearded wonder Gaibriul here, coach of the LA Luxray, and I'm here for my week 5 team preview for the Battle Union. This week we are taking on Enzo, and it's a little bit later on. I'm ridiculously nervous. There's a lot of reasons why. I'm currently 3-1, he's currently 3-1. That's a really good, ranking and statistic. We're both doing really well. So facing off against each other this week means that whoever wins is either going in second place pretty much, or could take top spot if Anima loses with the Golden State Dragons. And yeah, there's a lot on the line. I will also say as well, and that does, obviously I've done enough teamwork, but I'm recording this and doing my team building on the day of the battle, and I'm nervous about it because I've come up with ideas for the team, but usually I like a good few days to mull it over and then come back, but I haven't got that this week. But that's not an excuse, that's just me just letting you know in case it seems less in depth than any of the other ones. Without further ado though, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you Enzo's 10 Pokemon. Okay, so you'll see on there are actually 13 Pokemon. 3 of them are benched, which means he cannot bring them. Yeah, so I'm only going to go through the 10 he's got. So the 10 Pokemon that he could be bringing, and I'll go through what I think he might be bringing, and you will notice this is a damn fat team. It's ridiculously bulky and it's got some power. He did do a trade last week, I do believe. He traded out Chansey with another player for Thunderous Incarnate, which, to be fair, he could spare the bulk, so getting that special attacking threat is terrifying for me because I'm the first one that'll experience it, I guess. But anyway, his first pick and one of the most powerful picks in the game was Victini. This thing can be choice banded, scarfed. It is ridiculously good. Then there was Landisterian. Landisterian. Obviously a great mon, ridiculously strong again with that stab ground type, which parts of my team do not want to take. Suicune, nothing I need to say on that. Fortress, the Thunderous Incarnate, Kyurem. So for this, not the second week in a row, but for the second week out of the 5, we will be most probably facing off against the Kyurem, and that is scary because it's just damn scary. It is a good mon. And it's ridiculously strong. I do believe it's 170 base special attack. That's insane. So I've got to watch out for that. Slurpuff, Omastar, one of my favourite Pokemon and one of the bulkiest around. Cofagrigus, and then finally his Mega, again one of the bulkiest around and definitely so good. Mega Venusaur. What a selection of Pokemon he's got to choose from. But anyway, enough of all that stuff. Let's go into the team that I think he could be bringing. So, mons that he could be bringing. I've been pretty on cue with these so far, so let's see if I can keep it up. So, first of all, I think he has to bring Victini. There's a lot of stuff he can do with this. It's all base stats 100, obviously, like Mew and Celebi and stuff. And it is a damn versatile mon. I'm feeling like he's going to bring it aggressive. I think he could bring defensive. It's possible, but it's all whether he thinks I'm going to bring the Heatran, and I'm thinking maybe he'll predict me not to. I think he'll bring physically attacking choice banded Victini. It's a very typical thing. And this is not me going, this is definitely what he's going to bring, or this is all I've thought about, but rather a very good option for him. And that is choice banded Victini with, let's say, V-Create, Zen Headbutt, Bolt Strike U-Turn. Very typical, and that would be terrifying enough. It wouldn't need too many coverage moves because it's already got a lot of moves there that cover a lot of my mons. Zen Headbutt, of course, being there means my, my Chestnut takes ridiculous damage. The U-turn there is obviously for initiative on the choice Pokemon. V-Create because it's V-Create, and if I don't have Heatran, nothing. Like, things want to switch in on it and I can take them, I can soak up hits, but Jesus, like if it gets to the point where my defensive mons are down, that will just wreck my team completely. And then bulk strike coverage, probably for, let's say, the Azumarill, because it can it can take an Aqua Jet. even choice banded, I do believe. And also he can then hit back with a bolt strike and just take that thing down, pretty much. Okay, so moving on. That's one Pokemon I think he's going to be bringing. The next Pokemon I reckon he's guaranteed to bring is the Landorus. So for the second week running, we're against the Landorus. This is a big threat to my team because it has great coverage moves and it packs the ground type attack, which makes it difficult to bring Heatran. It really does. And forces my hand when it comes to some hidden powers. Like I'm kind of set into having to bring hidden power Ice because it's a 4x weakness, and you know what, I kind of need to do that. I think it'll be a typical build again, but I think this is probably going to be, if anything, see, I'm unsure of the item. This is the one for me where I'm iffing and ahhing of what he actually could be bringing when it comes to the item. Could be Scarfed, it could be Banded, it could be Y-Forb. There are many things that he could be doing with it. And it's just going to be a ridiculous threat. Moves it could be bringing Earthquake, Stone Edge, U-Turn, Knockoff. Very standard set, like I've been saying. And there's a reason for that. Knockoff hits my Uxie and my Espeon. I'll get to Espeon in a minute though. Uxie and Espeon. For ridiculously good damage. It takes off the Assault Vest off the Escavalier, or it just removes items. It is a great move to have. Simple. The U-turn, switch initiative is always a thing, and he packs it in quite a few mons on this team. Like, he can bring switch initiative definitely, and I'm thinking possibly he will be. Earthquake, obviously the ground stab, and then Stone Edge so you can hit the Rotom. Basically, I think that's kind of what he has to bring if he's going to bring that. That, again, that's not what I'm saying he's going to bring, but what I think is a great option for him. So, moving on again. The third Pokemon, he's going to bring the Thundurus. I think that's guaranteed. He's brought it, he's just traded for it. He'll be excited to use it because it's his new mon, and it's also ridiculous. It's got the Prankster, and it's got a ridiculously quick Volt Switch. The things I'm going to have to watch out for this, basically, Switch Wave against my Fairy type mons. Volt Switch for the Switch initiative. The other move, it could easily be Thunderbolt. There's an abundance of things he could bring. Probably will be Thunderbolt for the stab extra damage. This thing I don't think is going to be choiced because he's going to be Prankster set. Again, at least I think so. This is not me saying he's definitely that. And Life-Orb. Then the final move, I reckon he's bringing Thunder Wave. Prankster, Thunder Wave, cripples, Ambipom, Heatran, Azumarill, kind of. Not that much though, really, because it's got the priority, so it doesn't even cripple that at all. It just does a number. It's Thunder Wave, for crying out loud. It's an awesome attack that just cripples Pokemon. Well, Altaria doesn't want to take it either. It's just a damn good... With the Prankster priority, it's just an option he's got, and I think he'll be bringing it. Next Pokemon has to bring Kyurem. Has to. 100% has to. It's too good. It is too good. And I'll straight off the bat what I think he's going to be doing with it, and that's Scarfed. I reckon this is going to be Scarfed mixed attack here. Simple. Again, it's quite a typical set. Like, I don't want to try and go into the mind of Enzo when I'm doing these team previews. That's for me to do when I'm battling. But I think he's got to bring Scarfed. I think he has to try and outspeed me. I have too many steel type attacks. They'll do ridiculous damage to him. I think he'll be bringing Draco Earth Power. It's 2 special attack. The Draco Earth Power Ice Beam is 3 special attacks, and then Outrage, because it is ridiculously powerful, and he's going to be choiced into remove anyway. So why not Outrage? It's ridiculously good against Goodra. Get into that in a moment. And nothing really wants to just soak up the Outrage. If he thinks I'm bringing Azumarill though, that may be a different option. He may not decide to do that. And the same with, he has to do it, say, if my Mega Altaria Mega Evolves, I'm then immune to it as well. So that's an option that he might not bring. Another notable move would be Stone Edge that he could definitely pack for the Rotom Heat, which we all know Rotom Heat did a number on Kyurem Black when I last faced one. So you know what, he could be trying to do that. The Earth Power we're immune to on the Rotom, and it's whether he thinks we're going to bring Heatran. So there's a good balance there of what he could be bringing. And then finally, and this is the one, my light's gone off, it always does that. And this is the one I'm kind of like thinking, maybe he won't. There's a possibility he won't, because it's actually a mono I'm not too bad against. I'm not worried about it really, and that is the Venusaur. It is ridiculously good. Like, really, really good. But I have a pretty good team against it. It's not too bad. So, notable moves, of course. Let's go into those. Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, Synthesis, Leech Seed, Toxic, Earthquake. The Earthquake there because I'm thinking if he fears my Heatran against it, Earthquake. But it's all whether he thinks I'm going to bring Heatran, because Heatran is it's a risk. It's kind of a little bit of a risk to bring it against this team with the Lando being there and the Kyurem and having so many options and access to the Earth type attack, to the ground type attack. But Mega Venusaur it's very versatile. It could be doing a lot of things, but I do have answers to it. So there's the 5 mons. So that's Victini, Suicune, Landorus, Thundurus, Kyurem, Mega Venusaur. Not Suicune. I'll get into that now. So that's 5. Ignore the Suicune. Pokemon, the final Pokemon, it could easily be Suicune, which I think he should probably do. Or it could be Cofagrigus, which I am terrified of. Genuinely scared of that. And Forretress. Not so much against the Forretress, it all depends on whether he thinks he's going to need the Rapid Spin or not. But the Forretress I have to prepare for, but I'm 50-50 whether I think he'll bring it or not. The other ones are sort of like probably a little bit ahead of it. But anyway, let's go through the team I've devised and created from this brain. Okay, so the team. MVP last week, and first name on this sheet, Ambipom. So good. It's not going to be Scarfed. I want Fake Out because it's going to do chip damage to a lot of things. It's going to be Fake Out Life Orb. And it means that I get Stab, Fake Out against a lot of things. Stab, Technician, Fake Out, hits Mons hard. The only one it doesn't really want to hit is like a Forretress. The rest are in Cofagrigus, obviously. And other things, are going to take it okay, but it's still chip damage, and that's what I want. This whole team is built around chip damage. The moveset is going to be the Fake Out, the Return, and then these are 2 moves that I was stuck on 3 moves, and I couldn't decide which one. It originally started off as Ice Punch and Low Kick. The Low Kick there for the Kyurem. Basically, nothing else really, mainly just against the Kyurem. Omastar, I don't think is coming, so. But coming to the tail end of my team building, I decided I needed to get rid of one of those, Ice Punch or Low Kick, because I needed the Fire Punch. Because if, let's say the scenario, if I lead off with Ambipom, he leads off with Forretress, it has Sturdy, I get Fake Out, breaks his Sturdy, then what do? I can't do anything, and he just gets free to set up anything to Volt Switch out. He gets some initiative, and I don't want that. I really don't want that on at all. So the moveset is going to be Fire Punch. Because of that start. Now Fire Punch has it's between 80% and 95% damage. The Fake Out does between 5 and 10%. So collectively there, it's a possibility of KOing it in the 2 hits without him setting up any entry hazards and having an option to Rapid Spin, and he may not see it coming either. So that's definitely an option I've got, and one I need to sort of think about. The next one is another guy that's come to every battle so far. Probably shouldn't bring him again, really, it's getting too predictable. But it's just really good. It's versatile, and it is a damn good mon, and that's my Rotom Heat. Oh, actually, no, let's go back. Ambipom's EVs. 252 in attack, 228 in speed. I outspeed everything with that speed spread, EV spread, barring Scarfers. And then 28 HP investment. Simple. So the Rotom Heat. Rotom Heat is going to be Scarfed again. I've brought this set before, and I think it's going to be good here. It's going to be Wisp, Switch, Hidden Power Ice, and Overheat. One of the most typical sets you can get. The Wisp is there to try and cripple anything. I would love to get that off against the Mega Venusaur just to give myself some chip damage over time would be beautiful. Getting that off on a Landorus, if it's going to be physically attacking, which, like I said, I think it will be, is going to be critical. It's just a good idea. And this is going to be modest Scarfed, like I said. So it's modest, it doesn't need the speed, as much speed investment. My EVs are going to be 252 in special attack. Simple. 1-1-2 in speed, because that with the Scarf outspeeds everything, except for Scarfers. But things that are going to be Scarfed are going to outspeed me anyway. So there's no point investing. And then 1-4-4 in defense. The reason for this is because with HP, I can't take hits quite as well. And this thing is going to be a good counter to Victini if it's attacking, because it can soak up a V-Create quite well. So it's actually 1-4-4 in defense instead of special defense or HP, because that investment gives me that I can take a little bit more physical on the physical side, which is always good, and it's definitely something I need to be invested in, especially if Stone Edge is coming on the Wanderers as well. The next one, and this one's the one that this is key, and that's Heatran. I'm bringing Heatran even though he's got a Wanderous, because I can air balloon it and I've got ideas. This is my set Venusaur counter. I know what you're thinking, that's strange because it's got thick fat, but it is. So to give you an idea, it's got Fire Blast, Flash Cannon, Rocks, and Taunt. Venusaur can Earthquake me, possibly, but he needs to have it, and I don't think he's going to bring it. So if he doesn't bring it, well, it's possible, but I don't think he will. And I've got the air balloon. There we go. I can soak up hits all day. I'm immune to Sludge Bomb. Can eat up a Giga Drain easily. I'm immune to Toxic. Synthesis is something to worry about, but that's about it. So the Taunt is there to make sure this can't Synthesis, and I can get, I think Fire Blast is, well, I know Fire Blast is a 3-hit KO. So I just need to make sure it doesn't Synthesis between then, and I can deal with it. Its investments are 188 in HP, so I can live a superpower from a fully infested Lando if he brings superpower, and 252 in special attack. Modest, it's going to be ridiculously powerful, that's the idea, and 68 in speed to creep Venusaur and Suicune. Again, pretty simple. The next one is, and it's the first appearance for this, and I'm excited to bring it, is Chestnut. Now, Chestnut, the reason I'm bringing it, looking at his team, doesn't seem amazing, but it can soak up bits from the Venusaur, which is always good. But there's a reason. One, I want the stab fighting type attack, or at least I wanted the stab type of fighting attack, and I wanted him to think I'd have it. And two, spikes. If I get the opportunity, and because he's lacking a spinner in that team except for Fortress, which I should be able to deal with, Rocks and Spikes are going to be ridiculously good if I manage to get them up. That's one plan, basically. It's not the overall plan, but it is one plan. So Stealth Rocks, 3 Laser Spikes, going to be crippling this, because if you look at his team, like I said, you've got Victini with U-Turn, Landorus with U-Turn, Fortress with Volt Switch, Thunderous with Volt Switch. There's enough initiative there that I think he's going to be bringing, so why not actually try and cripple his Switch, and it's going to be a good idea. So that's why he's coming. He's got the Spiky Shield, he's got the Leech Seed. Because, again, Leech Seed's just awesome. I can then take a Lando hit easily enough, and Spiky Shield do some damage. It's all about chip damage, is what I wanted originally when I was writing this team up. It is 252 in HP, 100 in defense, and 156 in Sped F. It's going to be mainly a special defensive mon. I wanted that switch and bulk, not special defensive mon, because it's mainly defensive anyway. I want him to have that so he can take hits on the defensive side, but the 156 is special defensive so he can live an Ice Beam from a fully invested special Kieran. Again, that makes a lot of sense, and it's going to be careful nature with leftovers. The next one, and this was a switch. I traded my Espeon out with my bench for Goodra, because Goodra, looking at his team, Sap Sipper would have been amazing, and it's actually pretty good. Can take hits from take V-Creates for days. So it's going to be Goodra, Assault Vest. It's going to be Impish, because it's going to be mainly physically defensive orientated from this. It's going to have Draco, Focus Blast, Ice Punch, and Thunderbolt. Draco, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, kind of straightforward really. I needed that Thunderbolt because I needed an option for Suicune. The Ice Beam is there for the Landorus, and the Focus Blast is there for the Kieran. Because I don't always want to fire off a Draco, because obviously it lowers my special Sped F, so on the Switch, and I'd rather get that off. And it's also good against Umberstar if he decides to come. I have to plan for these things even if I don't think he'll do it. Oh yeah, and the Chestnut's got Seed Bomb as well, by the way, over the Drain Punch, because it's going to get Suicune and Umberstar. So its EVs for Gudra are 240 in HP, 188 in defense, which means I live an outrage from a scarfed mixed Kieran. Simple. 52 in special attack to give it that little bit more, and 28 speed EVs to outspeed to creep a Venusaur that's not invested. Moving on again into my final mon, because this is taking a long time. I'm sorry for the long video, guys, but there's a lot of preparation gone into this battle mentally against Enzo because he's got a great team. And that's Mega Altaria. Yes, it's coming, even though he's got a Venusaur. It has to. It's so good. The set I wanted to bring, I wanted it to be a cleric, but I want it to be D-Dance. I wanted something that they could set up if I needed it to, because if this, let's say Fortress is there, Gyro Ball, if he's got it, it's going to do an okay amount. This can soak up hits from a Victini easily enough, unless he's got Glaciate. Like, I have the options to get D-Dance up, and it would be awesome, because if I can do that, I outspeed everything with my investments, and it would just do ridiculous damage with the return. So, the moveset, return, D-Dance, just said them. Heal Bell and Roost. Heal Bell, I kind of needed it, to be honest. Looking over my team, I didn't want anything getting Thunder Waved, which is an option, like I said. Getting Skull Burned by the Suicune, I just wanted the option there. Toxic again from the Venusaur, and then the Roost, so I've got longevity in this. It's Adamant Nature, because it's going to be 252 in HP, it's going to be 164 in attack, so that's a good amount of attack to be fair, and then 92 in speed. 92 in speed means I creep everything except the Thunderous, because I couldn't put enough investment to creep the Thunderous. I couldn't waste that many EVs after one D-Dance. Pretty straightforward. That's the team, and we're going to see how we're going to do in about an hour. I'm terrified. I'm really terrified. I'm hopeful, but I've got to be in the right mindset. I don't want any mistakes because I want this to be an epic battle between us two. He wants vengeance because I beat him the last time we battled, and it's going to be a damn good game. But anyway, guys, that's enough of a video because it is 25 minutes long. I'm sorry for the longness of the video, but as you know, I do like to go in depth with my team building. It's a big important process for me, and I like you guys to know why I've done certain things. So, if you've enjoyed this and if you agree with me with some of my things I've said, some of the builds and stuff like that, don't forget to smash that like button, but mainly tell me in the comments what you think of your sets, what you bring of mine, what you think the opponent's going to bring, get involved, and who you think is going to be the MVP in this game. More importantly though, have yourselves a damn fine day. I'm not anything like at the moment. I'm just concentrating on the game. There's no emotion. I hope you're loving it though. I'll see you next time.